Men have read it. When did you realize she was flirting with you? Story number 1. My secretary laid it all out. A woman I was interested in came to town. I worked in a dilapidated old low-powered TV station. She and a friend were passing through on spring break and called, and I gave them a tour of the building, showed the interesting aspects of the building. When it was done, she thanked me, said she had a great time, and they left. My secretary asked immediately, "Is that your girlfriend?" Because she flirted with you non-stop and said she had a good time, which no one has in this stupid building. Story number 2. Let me share a tale of true obliviousness. My brother was driving a girl home when she said she thought he had a flat tire. She insisted they pull over and check. She directed him onto a narrow road surrounded by trees. He got out, checked the tire, and said it was fine. He was about to put the car in gear when she said, "As long as we're here, let's just hang out a bit." He asked what she wanted to do. She said, "I'm sure you'll think of something," and put her hand on his stomach. He chuckled and said, "That tickles," before removing her hand and adding, "Come over to my house. You can check out my Xbox." Then he put the car in gear and drove home. He figured it out that same night when he told me she was acting funny, and I clued him in. The next day he found her, first thing in the morning, and said, "Let me give you a ride home. I thought of something for us to do." Not the smoothest line, but it got the job done. Story number 3. I realized like 5 years later. This girl I had a crush on all throughout high school had been dating someone else. A few months after they broke up, I invited her to a local music show. She said she wasn't that interested because dinner wasn't involved, which I felt was pretty weird since most local shows didn't supply food or happen where they serve food. I kind of just shrugged it off and went to the show alone. 5 years later, and I reread the texts and realized she had been giving me massive hints that she just wanted me to take her out on a real date. Story number 4. Woman here, but I'll tell you how far I had to go for my fiancé to finally realize I was coming on to him. We had been good friends for about 3 years, and I had recently had 2 relationship breakups, my ex-boyfriend and my ex-best friend. He was also recently single and had one time joked that we should hook up, but never tried it. After many late movie nights of him not making a move, I made a plan. Invite him over under the guise of, I need to go through my wardrobe and get rid of stuff, and I don't have a female bestie anymore for opinions. So you have to help me. I had wine, mood lighting in my room, and we were casually watching Netflix on my laptop while I tried on my cutest clothing right in front of him. He was very confused when I first stripped down in front of him, and it took 5 goddamn outfit changes for him to finally think, wait a sec, what's going on here? And I literally saw the light bulb go off in his head and he finally made a move. Story number 5. We were with friendly coworkers at a bar after a volunteering event. The topic of males never wanting to dance came up. I said I'm far from expert, but I do like a good dance. And M, a coworker I had just met that day, said the loudest, well, then let's see if it's true. I danced with all 4 females in attendance, though other males of our group were also dancing. So all very friendly but not flirty. With all the standing up and sitting down movement of the dancing, everyone ended up in different seats at the table afterwards, and I was right next to M. We got some beers again, and she then started touching my fingers with hers under the table. Obviously, at that point it was obvious, but her loud, well then, let's see, was also a clear indication in hindsight. Also adding to the ambiguity, she has a lazy eye, so I wasn't sure if it was me or the person next to me. She's a very sweet girl, but that can be hella confusing. Story number 6. I was at a Tim Hortons getting food and ample drinks for a sleepover. There was a girl there, and we made small talk. She was asking what I did and where I was going. Well, as I was paying, I was shuffling through my pockets because I was a quarter short. She stepped in, gave me the money, and smiled. I said thank you, waved, and walked out. That night, after being mercilessly badgered by my friends for missing obvious clues, it dawned on me. I fucked up. Story number 7. Realized a year or so after my last chance. We met in music class in 5th grade. It could have been 4th or 6th. My memory that long ago is fuzzy. Became part of the same loose friend group. We were both in orchestra class together through junior high and high school, and we hung out frequently between classes. Hers was the 2nd or 3rd number to go into my first cell phone. My last chance was at the high school grad night party. She's right by my side the whole night. I didn't realize until about a year later when another female friend asked, "How long did you and X go out?" I said we never did. Female friend said that she was hanging on me and making eyes at me through the whole party. I only thought of her as a friend, but a beloved friend. If I'd picked up the signals, it could have really been something. Story number 8. During my earlier years, late teens through early 20s, I was Captain Oblivious by my own design. Long story for another comment. Anyway, I don't have anyone I know from that time, other than family, who could shed any light on any interactions I might have misinterpreted as completely innocuous. So from that time, I have no idea. Recently, however, I started watching those YouTube videos that read selected comments from Reddit posts like this one, and I found them entertaining enough that I joined Reddit because of them. Since viewing these videos and reading these posts, I find myself far more aware of my social surroundings than I'd been before. Case in point, I've recently come to the realization that there may be a few girls at work who have been making more eye contact in passing than needed. I don't work in the same departments as them, so I don't work with them. So I can't come up with any work-related reason for this. One girl kept greeting me by name and smiling at me, which I can tell even though she's wearing a mask. Just yesterday, one girl thanked me for teaching her a trick about how to fix the printer and was doing a lot of smiling. She was conducting the morning meeting yesterday, and towards the end, she seemed to be looking directly at me while she talked. Even tough, most of the rest of the group were off to the side. The weirdest one about her, though, is that both today and yesterday, I worked relatively the same shift as her, and as I have to often shop after work, the exact time I leave the building is random. Both days, I look back at the exact same moment as I'm about to leave the property, and she's there walking about 20 feet behind me. She must be waiting outside the store or something. Either that, or it's one damn big coincidence. Wow, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks now, so maybe things will be less weird when I get back. All of this should be read with the understanding that I'm married to another employee at the same store. The weird thing, not bad. Just an odd pattern is, all 3 of these girls who I'm wondering might be mildly flirting with me. They're all, to my reckoning, black, and I'm Caucasian. Thank you for making it this far into the video. A like and subscribe would be appreciated, along with your thoughts and suggestions in the comments section below.